Awesome. Yep, so we'll give people another 3 minutes to go ahead and jump in, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Cool. I think we can probably go ahead and get started. Um, so yeah, it's kind of been a while since we've all hopped on and kind of gave some updates. We did a call with the Wolfpack NFTs not too long ago. Um, but that was an exclusive call. Um, so since last time we did this, there's a lot of things that have happened, and we posted about the some of the things that have happened on Telegram and Discord announcements, but some of those things might not be clear what they actually mean. So we'll kind of go over all those things. But where do you think we should start, Devin?
Um, well, so hold on 1 second. Sorry, the announcement in Discord. I'm getting people telling me I need to do something with that. 1 second. Um, ah, the at everyone didn't go off. Fixed it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I mean, we've got a lot to cover and a lot of really awesome things to get through. Let's go ahead and start with you know, do you want to go ahead and start with the case updates, or do you want to go with the website first?
Um, let's go with case first.
Cool.
So let me, I'm gonna share my screen. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So as a lot of you probably already know, this was posted on Discord a while ago. We took screenshots of it, threw it on Telegram as well. Um, so here he's basically explaining that 1 second. So basically, the largest case that's in Liddy's portfolio, um, they won on every aspect and point in their claim, which is a pretty big deal. So in here, in that message, it kind of explains that all of the points in their claim won. They don't quite know what the award amount is or anything yet, and that's something that they have to go back in um, whenever they have their conference, which was supposed to be in at the end of July or in August. Um, and then they figure out, award amount and everything else.
Right. So basically the way that this works is we've entered the last steps in the process of getting through this case, right? And so once they acknowledge the claims on all accounts, the next step is to go through the quantum, which you know, is the process that they're currently going through. And there's not much we can say on that right now, but I have heard that it's all been good news so far. And then after that, then we should get the award announcement, and then we'll be able to go into collections. So we're entering the last steps in the process right now, and getting through it very quickly. You know, the biggest thing is that out of the last 3 or 4 steps, you know, at the end of July, beginning of August, we've been able to go ahead and move through another step and get and continue down that path. So things are moving steadily on the case, and we expect to hear really good things, you know, in the next, I don't know when I can really say, but here soon-ish, that I think everybody's going to be very, very happy with. So
Yeah, because in that message he explained that that the next conference would be at the end of July or early August. And then from that, you know, it gets closer to figuring out what the actual award is. And then whenever they have an award, then it goes into, you know, collecting and recovery. So basically taking that award and collecting what that award says you're owed. So those are the 2 biggest steps to being completely finished up with that. Is 1, getting the official award in the award amount, and then 2, collecting on that. So yeah, it's pretty exciting news to know that it's made it this far, and that at the bare minimum they recognize all the points and aspects in the claim. So
yeah, absolutely.
good
I mean,
sign.
honestly,
That's the big picture.
this is a big thing. Like we're talking about this actually finally starting to get to the last steps in the process, and really becoming you know, a big opportunity for us. Right now, the estimations on the case are still you know, somewhere between 5 to 7 cents per WLD that we're kind of expecting. You know, the current finishing up is Q4, so we're looking at hearing things as soon as we possibly can on that kind of stuff. So this is I know that a lot of you guys are Wolfpack NFT holders, and so you got to get access to you know, that exclusive call.
Yeah,
But
so that call we basically so the guy who posted that message, he did an exclusive call with the Wolfpack NFT people to kind of walk through and explain things kind of as much as he could, which obviously you can't talk too much about those things, and it's kind of hard to talk about them from his perspective, but we at least hopped on and got to chat a little bit, which was kind of cool. Yeah, so making progress on the case side of things.
mhm.
So on the services side of things, there's 2 major things that happened. One was we had our first project go through our certification, insurance, and launchpad, which was Colphoenix, which means that they paid for that service, which means that the DAO earned from rendering those services to them, which benefits everybody who holds WLD tokens, because now the revenue from that goes into WLD's treasury. And for this certification, insurance, and launchpad for Colphoenix, they paid in their tokens. So that means that the DAO's treasury holds Colphoenix tokens. So we technically added another asset to our portfolio, which is kind of cool.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that we should talk about a little bit is, you know, all of the projects that we've built, guys, it's all designed to work together, right? And so whenever we have these projects that are approaching us with, and we have more projects that we're currently talking to, what happens is they go through each step of the process, and, you know, there's revenue that's earned in each step of that process. Some of that revenue might come in the form of direct payment. Others might come in the form of their token, especially if they've gone through the audit process and they've gotten certified and we feel like it's a really good value to bring in, or we, you know, have an appropriate negotiation with them. then those assets will end up coming into the DAO. As we already know, for those of you who have kind of poked at the Coal Phoenix stuff, they're expecting really good returns, and everything that we've been able to see up to this point shows us that that we can expect the same thing. And so that is revenue that will be coming into the treasury that we are able to vote on to distribute as it comes in over time. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of the different projects that we're doing, the audit, the insurance, the launch pad, and acquiring these other assets. This is a slower building process, but the opportunities to make money off of this, the opportunity to bring in those distributions is much higher and much more consistent than if we were to do something just like just litigation by itself or something like that. There's a lot of, you know, things like that are considered a high risk investment because you have to get on very early in those cases. And so being that we're in the cases that we're in that are already in those finalizing steps is super duper important to, you know, being able to somewhat rely on that on those distributions coming in. These other assets we don't have that problem with, and they bring in over time, they should bring in very large amounts of revenue that should compete, if not exceed, what we can expect to see in the litigation.
Yeah, well, so the cool thing about the Coal Phoenix one specifically, like, because we hold it in the treasury, is that they plan on doing monthly payouts. So if there are monthly payouts, then that goes to WLD's treasury, and then from WLD's treasury, we can either use that to fund some marketing expenses or do some small payouts monthly from that. So it's kind of cool how it's all connected in a way. But so the second biggest thing on the services that Wolfworks has is the insurance. So if you go into our white paper, it has a description of what our insurance services are and a little bit about how it works. The biggest thing is that we're officially a reinsurer under Realm, which Realm is these guys. So it's pretty cool. It's not like we're just like, because insurance and Web3 and stuff, I've seen like a couple other ones, and they're like they try to do these token-based systems and whatever, where it's like they have a treasury and then they pay out from claims and whatever, but it's not like actual professional insurance. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's very iffy whether other people's actually work or not. I mean, they're cool concepts, but it's like I'm not sure how well they actually work.
Well, and I
So-
think that that's a super valid point there too, that can kind of be stressed on is, as far as we're aware, and you know, this is me talking for myself. We are one of the only, if not the only, organizations that is an official reinsurer within the crypto space, right? This is a really, really big opportunity for
I
us.
think there's probably other ones, but not quite like this.
Right. A lot of the, like, we've seen insurance projects and stuff like that in crypto before, like Riley was saying, but these all seem to be based off of community pools. That's not really how insurance is done in the professional setting. Usually you have these insurance companies that all get together and they have these large pools of money that they're able to go and pull from, and that allows them to have you know, a lot of safety and security whenever it comes to those funds needing to be allocated if they need to be. And so being that we're a reinsurer, we have, you know, that kind of backing that allows us a lot more security with the quality of insurance that we're providing versus some of these other things that we've seen out in the market.
Yeah, so real quick, somebody in the chat asked how much of a payout and stuff they could expect from WOD from Coal Phoenix. We can go on Telegram and Discord and do a little bit of math on that. Afterwards, like I can pull up a calculator and stuff.
Maybe we can even grab Trolls and see if he'll join us for that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's on here or not.
I see Shetel.
Shuttle's on here. But we'll revisit that one.
For sure.
We can explain that a little bit better.
Yeah,
Um,
and
it looks like Raj had a question too, so I'm gonna let him real quick.
Hey, so I was just wondering if you can explain reinsure, like, is that other company actually providing the insurance itself, and you're kind of like repackaging it or whatever, or yeah, if you could just explain that.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So basically, whenever you become a reinsurer, that is kind of how it works. Is like this, you have another insurance company who's kind of I'm trying to think of how to explain it.
That we basically entered into a contract that allows them to back our insurance, right? So what we've done is we've added an extra layer of protection that using a larger company in order to, make sure that we have the kind of coverage that we wanted to get and be able to set up for the entities that we do insure.
Yeah.
So
So the thing about becoming a reinsurer too is they technically take off some of the risk from themselves because we're the ones doing it. But yeah, it's kind of like an extension of them, if that makes sense. There's a really good article on Investopedia about what is reinsurance and how it works, and they can probably explain things a little bit better than either of us could.
a lot of the companies that you guys are used to dealing with for insurance and those kinds of things are reinsurers themselves, and they use these. This is a very traditional process within the insurance industry. So
I guess my question is then, like, if there was a claim, that wouldn't be coming out of the treasury, right? That would be coming from the other company, or
Well, so there's different ways that you can go about it. So depending on what the claim is, if we were going to pay anything out from a claim, then Wolfworks itself could do that if it was agreed upon to do that, or it could go through them.
essentially, this opens the opportunity for us to have another company with a larger insurance pool be able to come in and absorb a claim if that's necessary, given the context of the contracts that we have with them and that kind of thing. So it is, yeah, it's an additional level of protection depending on how it goes. Insurance is one of those things that's so complicated, and there's so many like little nuances and situational things. One of my favorite YouTuber always says, it depends, right? And this is one of those situations where it truly depends on the scenario, but we do have that kind of level of backup that is an industry standard within that field. So
Yeah, we can probably do another call here soon with somebody who can kind of go over the insurance part a little bit better than me and Devin can.
for sure.
Yeah, and kind of break it down and explain it. So that's something we can schedule to do.
It looks like we've got another question, right?
Hey, how you guys doing? And I hope I'm not repeating the previous caller, but and like you stated, you're gonna have someone maybe that comes in and explains it a little bit differently. But where would the insurance come into play? Like, what is like the purpose of it? Like, did the project go under? If I'm like, say I'm a WD holder, whatever reason, something goes bad with WLD, I lose my initial investment. Does the insurance protect it? Like,
Gotcha. So to kind of answer that, the insurance that we've built is designed to insure other projects, not just our own, right? So like it's designed. A good example is Coal Phoenix. Those guys are insured if there is some kind of like technical issue with their smart contract, or let's say that hypothetically there was some kind of inaccuracy with our auditing, or something like that. That's where that insurance comes into play. What it allows us to do is it allows us to protect the investors in different projects. So that way, if there are any kind of substantial issues, a claim can be filed, and the funds can be allocated towards things like potentially doing relief, or especially whenever it comes to the pursuance of litigation and legal aspects of that. That insurance would be a big portion of that. So.
Yeah.
So what do we get WLED to come after them if they just?
So real quick, so there's two parts. There's one part where this covers Wolfworks itself and anybody in Wolfworks doing services. So that's one big part of it, is it insures us, but then we can also extend that to insure others as well. So like for certifications, insurance launchpad, whatever we're doing under Wolfworks is insured. So if anything ever happened, us as a DAO, we're covered for that. And then on the other side, there's a part where we can go out and insure other people for things that happen to them.
Right.
Do
And
that-
absolutely. And this is type of liability insurance. So like Riley was saying, everything that we're doing with the DAO and according to the agreements that we have in place, all of that is insured and covered to some degree, depending on the scenario, of course. I don't want to say it's like everything ever, because who knows, but it is a type of liability insurance, and we are able to extend that liability insurance to other projects, and that's how we become that reinsurer.
And the other projects would have to go through to be able to be insurance, they had to be certified.
Absolutely. They would have to go through our certification process. We'd have to do a full audit on them, not just their smart contract, but a due diligence audit as well. We want to make sure that if we go and extend that insurance to somebody and begin that process, that we are being as thorough and complete as possible to make sure that we're making the best investments for you guys.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, because the certification at that point basically becomes like a risk assessment of what we're taking on, right? So one of the other cool things about whenever there is a claim, if for whatever reason there's something that needs to be used within 48 hours of a claim being made through the insurance company, we're able to grab 100,000 USD to be able to pay investigators, whoever else. So like if there's some kind of emergency situation, can do something like that quickly.
Basically, we've built as many different tools as we possibly can to make sure that if there's any kind of issues with anything that we go and tackle, or that we partner with, or those kinds of things, that we can go and get on that as quickly and as effectively as possible. So that way, whenever it comes down to it, we're setting all of the defenses in place to make sure that we can protect the investments of the DAO as much as we possibly can.
Tools and options.
Exactly.
It's good to have options.
And I know that insurance as a whole is kind of, in my opinion, maybe people don't agree with me on this, but I definitely think that insurance is kind of boring on its own. This is pretty exciting though. Like you got to think, right? So
depends on which side you're on. Like
true.
I mean, some insurance is boring, but like if it's part of a DAO that we're all working on, then insurance becomes exciting and fun all of a sudden. So
yeah. And this opens up the door for so many different possibilities. The first one is, think about it from the perspective of the investment itself, right? You're dealing with a company that is, or not a company, an organization that's been certified, that has backed assets, that is insured, that has its own certification system. On top of that, you're also looking at a scenario where the potential revenue from these things is particularly high. I mean, we all know that insurance companies are some of the largest entities in the economy as a whole, right? This gives us that opportunity to begin that process of slowly scaling up and adding more projects to not just the DAO's treasury portfolio, but our insurance portfolio as well, which will bring in consistent revenue over time, and potentially large amounts of that, depending on the agreements and payment scales that are used between each project. So this is a huge opportunity over the course of the next couple of years to potentially build that kind of revenue that we've been talking about that could overshadow even the litigation side of things.
Yeah, it's just creating different things and then scaling those up. Because through those, and then even just getting paid in like a project's native token or a company's token, the cool thing about that is it gets added to the portfolio. So then we keep stacking up all these different assets and tokens and everything else. And our portfolio becomes more and more diversified and grows more over time. So it's a cool little foundation that we have going at this point that we can kind of keep building on and scaling at this point. Does anybody else have any questions on
Well,
insurance?
let's save the questions
Or-
for later. Let's go ahead and get through some of this other stuff because we got a lot to get through.
Okay.
So the next thing that we probably should go ahead and talk about, since we've talked about the case updates, we've talked a little bit about the additions to the portfolio, which, by the way, there are more coming in every single day. So expect regular updates on that kind of thing. We've talked about the insurance. So let's go ahead and talk about the website for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, one more thing on the insurance and certification side of things is we do have a referral program that if you guys want to participate in for these services, you can message me, Devin, Daniel, Sammy, or Jack, and then we can work with you on setting that up for you to where you can basically go and give some project that you're either involved in or no, like a referral bonus. So they get a discount on it, and then you would also get like a little bonus for making that connection happen.
Mhm.
So yeah, if any of you are interested in that, that's there. But yeah,
And that's something we plan on expanding on over time as well. We're looking at different options as far as scalability whenever it comes to referrals and the best way to implement that. But it is an opportunity for those of you who are in other projects or want to go ahead and make those connections. We want to encourage our community as much as possible to contribute to what the DAO is trying to do and grow it. After all, even the team members here, we are all also community members, right? And so, we want to give you guys as many opportunities to be able to add to your own investments and bring in those kinds of revenues as much as we do ourselves. And so the referral is one of the ways that you can do that. So, definitely take some time to creatively think about, what projects you might be able to approach and whether or not there's a connection there that you guys might be able to make that we can get those people in and begin the audit and insurance process with them.
yeah. But yeah, so website. So for the website, what we're working on doing is we're working on building out 3 main sections. One is kind of like the landing pages for Wolfworks. The other one is the DApp section. So there would be things like swapping your tokens on there, viewing everything that's in the portfolio. It's like a nice little dashboard that you can view all the amounts, all the little things on like a table and like some charts and stuff. And then you can connect your wallet, view the stats on your WLD, and just a couple cool little dashboards and things like that.
I think you're underselling it a little bit, right? Like this is a full revamp of the website. We're going for, a sleeker, cleaner look. We want to look like the billion-dollar company that we are, right? And so we're going in and completely revamping this thing in a way that's going to be faster, sleeker, and add more utility. Some of the features that you guys have been asking for a really long time are finally starting to get added. And development with the website is becoming, a big focus as we move forward because there's a lot of different utilities that we now have the ability to add to it. And
yeah,
so
and then the third section that we're working on is the docs section. So most DAOs and Web3 sites, they have like a docs section of the site where you can go and instead of having like a white paper like this, it's all sectioned off. So it's a work in progress at the moment, but it's kind of close to being finished up. Where you can go in and view things like introduction, roadmap, audits, getting started, and just quickly kind of go to individual sections. So that way it's a little bit easier and digestible. So that's one of the things we're working on is making that docs section of the site.
For sure. And
There's just like a huge overview, basically a wiki of everything we do.
yeah.
So
And that wiki is going to be broken down, like Riley was saying, into all the different aspects of things to make it easily digestible. As well as, like, we've realized that our white paper is becoming very large as we continue to add these products and services. And so by having this wiki set up, we're going to be able to direct people to the specific information that they're going to need for, you know, specific projects, as well as you know, the tutorials and education of aspect of things. We're going to be able to go and add those kinds of things onto the wiki. So that's going to be a valuable resource whenever it comes to everything from you know, submitting proposals to how things work to, you know, guides on how to, you know, do purchases and things like that within the DAO. So it's going to be a really big aspect of how we move forward.
yeah, and then it just kind of gives a home for all the information.
Mhm.
And then specifically these guides that we can send out to people. So like, for example, questions on insurance, right? So then we can just link you guys to a guide on how insurance works that you can check out. If and then after that, we can talk more about how insurance works and, like, you know, if there's any more questions or just elaborating on it, we can always chat about those things. But to give a general overview of it, these little guides should help out a lot. And then Sammy and Jack are also they're working on creating videos for each one of these guides and like some of these sections. So that way if you're not as big on reading, you have something to watch too.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's the big thing is we're trying to, like, whenever it comes to the wiki, we're trying to consolidate a lot of the questions that we get asked over and over and over again. So that way you guys have easy, direct places to go ahead and access that information. So in the coming weeks, don't be surprised if we go and say, hey, check out the wiki for that information.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, if we do all this marketing, do this big push and everything, then we have to be able to scale, right? There's no point in funneling people and then having them go to a place where they're lost, confused, or we can't support that
Well,
many people coming in, right?
before
like,
we get into that though, I think we should show them the rest of the site.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the question? It is, you talk about Reese's. Reese's asked when the website is expected to launch. I think the simplest answer to that is very soon. We are looking at probably, I don't know, Ryan, what would you say is a safe estimation right now?
I'm not sure. Pretty much as soon as possible. Probably in the next week or two, within the next week or two, something like that.
Mhm.
So like I said, the wiki or docs, I think we're gonna call it docs instead of wiki, but this is just one section. So the other two sections this is like and this is a work in progress. It's not finished or anything, but I think it's nice to kind of show some updates on where we're heading and what we're thinking. Is that this is kind of what the homepage would look like, and then diving into some of the other things.
Yeah.
Scrolling down, it's responsive, has some transitions. A video on the homepage. I think it's probably important that we have some kind of video. And this is just like a placeholder one. This will be swapped out with like an actual introduction video to Wolfworks that if you come to this page, scroll down, watch that quick explanation, 1 to 2 minutes, have like an overview of the services that we have, and then the nice little chart that kind of explains the tiers. So the easiest way to explain what we're doing with all these is that, others, meaning like other auditors like Certic, TechRate, whoever, they don't dive into doing due diligence. I think Certic actually does have some kind of program for KYC AML, but they don't do due diligence on projects. So some of them do have the basic doxing KYC AML stuff, but it's not as in depth as a due
Right.
diligence report is.
So with the Launchpad, or like with the homepage, what we're essentially trying to do is we're trying to set this up in a way that is going to optimize new people coming into the site, give people, you know, the most direct information for the kind of services that they're looking for, as well as highlight some of the reasons why we offer the comprehensive services that we do, and where more and most specifically, that gives us an opportunity to kind of talk to individuals about the level of profit that we're going to be able to bring into this project, and the long-term revenues to continue to grow this community, right? That moving forward, this is a huge focus for us, is going to be getting presence out there, and beginning the process, or continuing the process of growing our community and our number of investors and holders. And so we've got a lot of plans that we're going to get into in a little bit about that.
Yeah. So continuing down some basic landing page stuff. These are just kind of placeholder numbers, because like I said, this is a work in progress. It's not finished yet, right? But this
I was
is
going to say,
now-
it's definitely not nothing. This is a big deal overall. This is going to give us a huge
It's a work in progress.
update to our landing pad for new individuals, and that's going to be a big thing.
Yeah. But just scrolling down on the homepage, you know, you have things like partners and partnerships and projects. So we can list out all of our partners here on the homepage, which is kind of cool. Or ones that we've invested in, like Liddy. But if you hover over it or tap on it on your phone, then it flips back, and then you can click on visit site, and it'll take you to the site that kind of explains what they do, who they are. Which is kind of cool, because it's like you can actually see like what we use for our technology stack and CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, all that fun stuff, and partnerships, right? But so looking up here, we have our services. If you click on governance, it'll take you to Snapshot, which I don't know if just
Yeah,
to reiterate what Snapshot is. Snapshot is the platform that WLD uses to create proposals and vote on those proposals. So for example, proposal to unwrap WLDY to Liddy was created, and then everybody voted on that. But we have the little governance part up at the top that'll take you to that page. Yeah, so diving into the tokens, so you can, you know, quick little information, number of holders, market cap, third-party audits. Scrolling down, these are the two main tokens that we have: our governance token, which is WLD, and then we have the Wolfpack NFTs. Continuing down, we're also building out this little comparison chart, because we get asked a lot, like what does WLD do for you? What do you get from WLD? And then somebody just asked, when will WLD be listed on other exchanges? So the exchange process will probably happen as we grow and scale things and have more and more volume. So as we do marketing, more people come in, our volume goes up, then we'll be getting on more of them. But also we don't want to get on the bucket shop exchanges, right? Because there's basically no point in getting on ones that are just trash. So we want to be able to scale to a point where we can just go ahead and get on some bigger and nicer centralized exchanges that people actually use and aren't shady bucket shops.
Exactly. And whenever it comes to the exchanges and that kind of thing, you know, we'll get into that a little bit more here in just a few minutes. But like right now, we're at a position where the services and goods that we offer are refined enough that we can begin that scaling process and begin to bring in that volume that you know, everybody's been looking forward to having. That way we can, you know, have the appropriate conversations with our connections and that kind of thing to get us onto the exchanges that we want to be able to get onto. It's one of those things where you have to be very, like, you can think of it like this, right? We can throw caution to the wind and we can take a half-assed looking project and go and approach these people and then have them turn their nose to us, or we can go in with a refined, clean project that has legitimate substance to it, and then be able to go and present that instead. We've taken
Yeah,
the
and then-
time over the last few months. I mean, this has been something that we work on literally like every single day to get this to a point where we can go in and move forward to talk to these bigger investors, bigger exchanges, bigger organizations, and legitimately have an opportunity to collaborate with them. We've already talked to a lot of these individuals in some way or another, and they're excited about what we're doing, but they want to see these next steps take place before they're really engaging with us on these things. And so that's what we're in the process of doing right now.
Well, not only that, but a huge part of it is scaling, right? Because if we don't have the infrastructure to scale, then we flop on our face if we do have an opportunity to scale. Versus
Exactly.
if we have the infrastructure to scale, thousands of people come in, whatever, we can handle that, right? Because we have the infrastructure to handle that and have a flow of information that that takes care of a lot of those things for us. But also we have the things as a foundation, like the insurance that covers all the work that we do. So if for whatever reason something ever happened in a situation like that as we are scaling, we're also covered for those things, which is nice. Having not necessarily safety nets, but having options like that can definitely come in handy in the future to mitigate risk is always nice. But yeah, so back to this though. So we're making a little chart, governance token versus the Wolfpack NFTs. Somebody just asked in chat, is there more Wolfpack NFTs available? Yeah, it looks like Elias already answered that.
So
But yeah,
just to
only
answer that
1,000
pretty
are-
quickly, as of right now, we're not currently minting any new NFTs, but you can buy them on OpenSea. And there's a couple things we're going to be talking about at the end whenever it comes to those NFTs. So give us just a minute. So go ahead, Ray.
Sorry, what?
Go ahead and
got it.
take us
Okay.
through so we
Cool.
can. I want to
then-
show them the exciting parts, the parts I've been like sitting here
Yeah.
wanting to tell people about.
So scrolling down, we got a nice little roadmap and stuff where you can look at all of the things that we've done and plan to do. Kind of get a better idea of that on this page. So going back to, so now this is, so like I said, we have 3 sections: the doc section, the landing pages, for, just homepage, tokens, our services. And then we have the 3rd section, which is the DF section. So if you're somebody coming to this page, scrolling down, click on swap tokens. Now you go to the DF section where you have a nice little token swap here, and you can go ahead and swap your tokens. And we figured it would be a good idea to add a couple little things like read the tutorial, or if you're lazy and want to watch the video, you have a button to watch the tutorial, which if somebody knows nothing about Web3 or MetaMask or whatever, this tutorial will take them through knowing nothing about Web3 to being able to just set up MetaMask real quick. You have to have MetaMask to buy it, and then show them how to swap.
Well, and so
And like which all these videos are like short couple minute videos though, right? Because we got to be mindful of people's times.
So I want everybody, like, for those of you who don't realize how significant this is, I want to take a second to talk about this. We have now a DEX built into our website that people are going to be able to directly go and transfer their USDC over to WLD. There isn't a need to go over to QuickSwap anymore for those who aren't necessarily educated in it, or that can get confused or easily, this is an opportunity for people to go directly from our website and go ahead and buy WLD. Like, this is huge because this is going to give us an opportunity to reach new people who are new to crypto, and simplify the process for them, make it easier for our existing holders to go ahead and purchase WLD, as well as give us opportunities to expand on this process, right? With having a DEX built into our website, this is going to give us a huge chance to go and work in collaboration with other partners that we bring in. So a good example is, hypothetically, you might be able to go in here and potentially purchase, from a myriad of audited, certified, insured projects that directly from our website, right? And so we're going to essentially set this up as a one-stop shop. What's also cool is we're not adding any additional fees to this process, right? A lot of times whenever organizations go and build this kind of thing, they add an additional fee or something on top of that. We're not going to do that with this in its current form. We're going to have it set up to make it as easy and as simple and as effective as possible to bring in as many new and existing holders as possible. This is going to be a big opportunity for us to continue to grow what WLD is doing without having to add additional support and additional time away from the resources we currently have. Projects like this, DApps like this that we're building on the website, are exclusively adding to the utility of the things that we already have in place, and not taking away from our ability to continue to execute on those things, which is super duper big.
Yeah, so I'm gonna nerd out for a second. Yeah, no, we don't take, because somebody asked in the chat, do we take any extra fees? No, we don't take any extra fees. All the orders are routed through ZeroX API. So that's why we added the little powered by ZeroX at the bottom, so you know which API it's getting routed through. Which all ZeroX is they're a protocol that finds the best price for whatever token that you're trying to swap. But yeah, like Devin said, we're adding in these little DApps and stuff, so that way you can go on here. There's no need to try to go to QuickSwap, wherever, figure out how QuickSwap works for people. It's all within Wolfworks site. You just go to this page, you can swap your tokens here. Risa said, so if you have USDC, you can go directly to WLD.
Yep.
You can, yeah, so you can already do that. But the thing is you have to go to QuickSwap to be able to do that, which is another site. And then it just adds another layer of complexity to everything.
So now you can do it directly from the site.
Yeah, you just connect your wallet, put in the amount, swap it. And then just like other decentralized exchanges, that'll have more options than just USDC.
Absolutely.
So USDC, ETH, Matic, whatever. You can use all those.
Well, and so let's talk a little bit about what DApps are and why they're so important. One of the cool things about our ability to execute things like this on the new site is this gives us the opportunity to add a lot of additional utility to things that are already in place, like this, but it also allows us to do new things with, Rai, you're gonna have to stop me if I go too far, but it also allows us to do new things with the NFTs. There's a lot of features that we've talked about implementing with the NFTs, a lot of different things that we wanted to do. This is going to give us the opportunity to do that, is building these DApps out. And so I think, Riley, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're actually going to be doing something with that here pretty soon.
Yeah, so long story short, this new site and infrastructure, all of it's built from the bottom up in React. Which basically makes it super easy for us to prototype things and develop new DApps. So like the token swap, viewing your wallet analytics, portfolio, all that. And then also having like an NFT viewer. So instead of having to go to OpenSea and everything to view your NFTs, you can just open it up here. But like Devin was saying with the NFTs, there's things that we plan to do with those and have some cool little maybe gamification type things going on with them. I don't know. But all of that would be able to be done within the apps section of our site.
Right.
convenient.
And what's also cool is the ability to build these things is very fast. Because of React and the code that we're utilizing in the background, these aren't things that are going to take us months and months and months to implement. Whenever we have a new DApp or we have a new utility that we're looking to implement, we can do this in a matter of days instead of weeks, which is a huge, huge difference. Because of that, our utility within the website and within our ecosystem is going to be able to grow very, very quickly as we identify things that we want to add. So,
Yeah, because we have it's not just because of React though, because if you're using React and you have bad developers or not good developers, then
right.
they make spaghetti code and don't make things reusable. But if you use React right and the way it should be used, you can make things reusable and then save a lot of time with developing and prototyping and deploying new things.
But I will say, I'm going to poke at this. Riley, you did talk about this, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Whenever it comes to the NFTs, this is where we're going to be able to add the utility that you guys are looking for whenever it comes to, you know, rarity scores, viewing your NFTs, identifying the different types of gamification that we can do with it, potential giveaways, and then being able to appropriately scale those giveaways. You know, if we wanted to go and do something where we did, an example is like a battle royale, right? Where we have different NFTs come in and essentially compete against each other to for what will essentially amount to a raffle, depending on their rarity and their scores and chances and those kinds of things. Then we can do that. We have a huge opportunity to expand that ecosystem.
Yeah, which I don't know if we'll do that specific one or how we'll do those things, but it just opens up the door to being able to do all those little things, right?
Absolutely. And
So
you
we
know, that's where suggestions from you guys come into play too. Like, we want to
Yeah,
know
if you
what
have
you
any
guys want to
ideas.
have happen with those NFTs, and we want to know what, like, you know, one of the big things that that I kind of want to point out before we move forward, because I think it's important, is, you know, we've been taking the feedback that we've been getting. We've been taking the feedback on the marketing. We've been taking the feedback on the activity in the community. We've been taking the feedback on the things that you guys wish you had more utility on. And we're going and we're actively working on fixing these things and actively working on implementing them in a way that's going to be able to allow us to scale and hit those goals that we all want to see have happen. It's not like we've been sitting back here just blind and being like, oh no, it's fine. Everybody, you know, it's okay. People are going to move from one thing to another as they go. No, we're actively working on these things and actively growing our ability to execute on them. So this is a really big deal moving forward as far as getting those changes in place that you guys have been asking for.
Yeah, which some of those things obviously happen in the background, like the whole insurance stuff. It's a little bit unclear what that stuff means for everybody or what it even looks like to have to go through that process to get to this point right here. It's definitely not
Months and months and months of work right
definitely
there.
not. Yeah, it like it's literally summed up in one page right here what the outcome is, but like there's a lot that goes into being able to get to that point to do that, and then we can turn around and insure people. But just one thing like that. So all of these things are starting to kind of like interconnect and come together in a way which is kind of nice and fun. There is a portfolio page that is not done whatsoever. It's near done. I don't know if I want to show that one or not. 'Cause it's a little rough, but
That's okay. That's okay. We'll go through at some point and kind of hit everything again. Like I said, like we're talking. And Riley, I'm not going to, I don't want to put any official numbers out there or anything that's going to put pressure on him in the way that he's doing. But I definitely want to, you know, utilize and say we're at a point where these things are coming out in a week or two. Like we'll be able to go back in and talk about these things as they're refined. So
yeah, we'll just revisit that one. But yeah, Wolfworks.
Is Jack still on here?
I think I might have to unmute him. Hold on, let me find him.
He was having some technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Jack.
he was having some.
No, I don't see him.
Hmm.
But no, I see him now.
Cool.
There.
Let's get him in here real quick so we can sit down and talk about some of the things that we're moving forward with. And
Hey guys.
hey
Hey,
man.
Jack.
Hey, sorry, I was having some connection issues.
Oh, you're good. So Jack, I want to go ahead and talk to you a little bit. For those of you who don't know, Jack is one of our team members who specializes in marketing, public relations, and community growth and partnership management. And so we've been working behind the scenes to be doing a lot of different things moving forward. Jack, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, over the last couple of months of things have kind of been getting built out and whatnot, we've been coming up with a plan to move forward with our marketing and just community engagement in general. A lot of the issue was that a lot of the case stuff couldn't really be talked about publicly, as most of you know. And that was kind of frustrating and kind of something we kind of had to tiptoe around for a long time. But now that most of that information is public, we're starting to feel comfortable making a statement on those things more regularly and pushing that out into other communities and partnering with other influencers and YouTubers and other projects. I've been in talks with a few other NFT projects and other crypto projects to kind of push what we've been doing out there into more of the mainstream, and even some mainstream media outlets are on the table. But yeah, I've been working hard on that. Devin and I have been in talks back and forth pretty much every day. And I just want to say thanks for your patience and thanks for all of your suggestions. Like, I know that marketing has been something that everybody wants more of, right? Everybody wants to see more of. So we're working hard on that.
Absolutely.
And then even besides the case, even like the insurance and everything else up until this point was a little black boxed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much everything has been kind of under construction. And as Devin said earlier, it's kind of coming together and finally starting to all piece together and make sense where it's cohesive and we feel comfortable presenting it to the masses, and it's going to scale from there.
Right. Riley put onto the website underneath WolfWorks, the next generation of venture capital. I think that we're legitimately entering the stage where we can say that now, where this is the next generation of how venture capital is going to work, and we're going to be able to set that industry standard moving forward. And the work that I've been doing with Jack in the background is a big portion of that. We've been creating connections and establishing different points of contact that we can work with as far as getting exposure out there, making sure that we have the resources available to get videos released on us, potential news articles, all of the different big aspects of things that you guys have been looking forward to having happen. We're now in the process, well, we've been in the process for the last couple of months, but we're now in this situation where we can start to implement those things in a way where we should see legitimate results, right? And so, this is something that is kind of near and dear to my heart. I don't want to go and yammer on this about too much, but we're finally in a position now where we can go in and actually take the time to create that exposure that's going to allow us to go ahead and grow WLD, its resources, its products in a way that we've not ever gotten a chance to do before. You can kind of think of this as like WolfWorks 2.0, because that's the kind of era that we're moving into right now. I think Jack accidentally got muted. Can we unmute him?
Yeah, we can unmute him. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it in phases, right? We launched, we got started, and then we went into like this development phase, and now we're kind of going into this growth phase.
Absolutely. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I mean, this is really kind of the next generation of the whole project, and it's still a very young project, and I'm personally looking forward to these changes very much.
Yeah, for sure. So I think at this point, what we'll do, because we need to go ahead and finish this up relatively soon. I want to give people an opportunity to ask any questions that they have that we haven't gotten a chance to go over. And like, you know, so like I want to make it clear to everybody that we are trying our best to get as much feedback as possible so we can grow and accommodate for those things and continue to you know, make this billion-dollar company what it really can, or organization what it can really be, right? So I'm going to give everybody a few minutes. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and post them in chat or raise your hand, and we'll get through those.
Yeah, there was I know there's a lot of people who ask about like how do you calculate this, or how do you know how much would be distributed per token. So under the app section, we're most likely going to add like a little utilities page, and on that utilities page there would be like little calculators, sliders, whatever, so you can kind of figure out those numbers or whatever you're trying to calculate without having to pull up a calculator and then figure out what the equations are to figure out whatever you're trying to figure out. Just little handy tools.
Yeah, and I think those are the little things that are going to make the difference, and really bring this into the mainstream. Calculator on the cashback from cases. Yeah, exactly. KG, we would be able to add DApps that are going to allow you to calculate the amount that you would be getting from potentially from cases from different products and resources that we have, you know, paying out distributions. So
Yeah, so if we go back to this section of the site, Daniel, one of our other founders, he really likes the little animation whenever you go from like the homepage to the apps section of the site. But yeah, under the app section, how it says wallet, so this would be your wallet analytics, swap verification, rewards. There would be another one probably like right here called utilities, and then all those little calculators and little little utility things like that would go under there. So that way you can just go there and you don't have to ask us to for the equations or how you figure that out.
So as of right now in our team, I want to say there are, is it not 9 people, Rai? 9 or 10?
Yeah, somewhere around there. The interesting thing about how we work is like we have a core team, and then we have a lot of people who are kind of involved, either more as like third parties, or they're like they help out, but they're not like officially on the team, if that
They're
makes
very
sense.
specific to a
Yeah.
role.
So it's hard, it's kind of hard to define like the core team. There's probably however many Devin said, like me, Devin, Jack, Sammy, Daniel, and then there's like 3 or 4 other people in the background, so that's around 9ish.
Yeah.
And then everybody else on the outside. But what I'm doing on the homepage, or what we're doing, this is a placeholder number. This is an actual number, but we're gonna add contributors. So like if you scroll down, whoops, hold on. If you scroll down to the very bottom, above the partners part, we're gonna put a contributors section.
Well, and I think this is a perfect time to mention this. This is one of the last big things that that I've got to talk about today. I do want to go ahead and announce that we are going to be doing a collaboration with an organization called Crypto Bull and Bear, or Bear and Bull. Will you do me a quick favor, Rai, and unmute Power Launch?
Yes. Is he on here still? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello,
Hey.
guys.
Hey.
So yeah, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be collaborating. Oh, will you also unmute Empire real fast?
Yes.
We're going to be collaborating with CBB and their community. Do you guys want to talk for just a quick minute? We're going to have to wrap this up relatively soon, but do you guys want to talk for just a quick minute about what you guys are, and then some of the things that we plan on doing moving forward?
Yes, you can unmute Keenan too. It's a team member too from us.
Who?
Keenan.
Keenan. Okay,
Yes.
there you go.
So,
And-
okay.
And Empire, if you haven't already.
Yes.
And
Okay, I
very-
was.
There you go.
Hi guys, thank you, thank you. Thanks for the invite. First of all, yeah, my name is Empire. My real name is Levent. I'm around 40 years old and one of the owner and founder from Crypto Bull and Beer. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to talk here. And excuse me if I have some problems to find the right words, but let me quick tell you guys something about the Crypto Bull and Beer. So Crypto Bull and Beer, it's yeah, it's not a call channel, the usual call channel. So we create Crypto Bull and Beer after a long time thinking, how can we change the crypto space and how can we secure create a security and secure safe place for new investors and also for the projects. So, and the result is the Crypto Bull and Beer CBB group. Pawaloch,
Yes.
he's one of the owners too. So we have, yeah, we decide to give the newcoming joining people a safe place for projects to invest so that they can live without fear to lose the money. I mean, we all know the crypto space is full of black sheeps and scammers and projects they rock and stuff like that. So our team, we have a huge team. Some of them are here in the chat, I think, too. And yeah, we check the contract. For example, we check the contract. We get in touch with the owners. We talk. We met with them and talk about the project. Go into details and look how can we go forward and help maybe the project. So this is on a based on a partnership. So we don't take any money for this. Yeah, we do it for free, but our wings are wide open in the crypto space. So we have lots of contacts. And like I said, we want to create a safe place for the new projects too, or projects they already run, and give them the right direction to the right spots to maybe get a exchange or a launch pad or stuff like that. So
can I give just a quick overview?
Yeah.
So basically what CBB does is they're a community organization that goes in and vets projects and creates collaboration with the teams directly that run those projects in order to create a safer working environment. One of the things that we're kind of working at potentially tackling with them is this is going to be an avenue for the DAO to go and approach new projects and work with established communities, potentially to do audits and vetting and those kinds of things, as well as community outreach. One of the things that we want to do moving forward as an organization is we want to go and work with people like CBB and things like that in order to expand not just the reach of the DAO as a whole, but to expand the quality of projects and the quality of the crypto space as a whole. You know, one of the reasons why I think we're in a bear market in the way that we are right now is because of the lack of quality control that is in the new projects that have been launched. And collaborating with people like CBB, as well as other organizations, is super duper important for us whenever it comes to growing that network of quality and quality investors, quality projects, and quality leaders that are going to be able to go and create a new, healthier crypto space as we move forward and get out of this bear market, this crypto winter. So thank you guys so much for swinging by today and taking some time to talk to these guys. We're going to be doing some events with them in the future. We're also going to be going ahead and linking to their website whenever it is launched, which should be coming soon. Is that right?
right.
And then we're also
Right.
going to be, providing you guys the Telegram link and those kinds of things. They're also going to be doing the same for us. So we'll be doing some cross promotion and cross collaborations that way. So we definitely look forward to it. And, guys, I definitely want to open up the door and let you guys know that your community is open to our referral programs as well. So whenever it comes to the audits and things like that, we want to be able to reward our community members as well as your community members and other collaborators with finding these people and getting them through that vetting process and setting up those safer investments for individuals throughout the entire crypto space, right? So, we definitely look forward to working with you guys that way. I know that we're already in talks with a couple of different projects, and I'm excited to see where they go and see what we can really muster up. So
Yeah, if you don't mind, I want just to add one thing. So basically, we are also a non-financial organization, which means we are not looking for profits or affiliate links. We are also not taking any. We are just there to make sure that the crypto space is getting safer. For more people who are new, they are getting scammed, which is our goal to stop it as best case as we can.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And
And
so
then, but yeah, and then once you guys have your site up, we can put a cool little card here for you.
mhm.
So
And shout out to your guys' logo designer. I love your logo that you've got on the site. I know that people can't see it yet, but I am excited to show it off. Keenan asked, Raj asked if your guys' project is similar to the Infinity Group. I would
No.
say
No,
that
no,
No,
no, Devin, no.
the biggest
no.
contrast there
Uh,
would be that you guys are not in it for profit. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Yes.
correct.
yeah,
We
We
don't
are
take any
only-
profit, but we give the opportunity for the projects to get real investors without to invest first in the group. So we are far away from this kind of groups.
We're
For
not
sure.
a payment group, no.
And that's nothing bad on Infinity. We definitely love those guys. We love our community.
Yeah,
from
we love them too, but like our
But
concept
it is, but just to create that level of contrast there, this is a not-for-profit organization. And so there is a difference in that way. But as far as the approach in the crypto market as a whole, there's a reason why we do collaborate with Infinity and we do collaborate with CBB and as well as other organizations. Is these guys, their whole goal is to create a safer, more reliable environment for everybody. And so,
Yeah.
we want to continue to work with guys like Infinity and CBB and the additional partners that we're bringing in order to create that constantly expanding community of high quality crypto projects.
Yes, the goal must be science in the crypto space to working together, hand in hand, and not only for the money. It's not only for the invest, something for the safety space for all. Not only for the
Absolutely.
investor, for the project too. Yes.
And so, thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and finish up these last questions, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
So real quick, so yeah, well, I think Devin, you said that you'll send the link to CBB.
Yeah,
later.
we'll send the Telegram link after this call in our Telegram as well as in our Discord. And so that way you guys can check them out.
So then the next question was, what was the Cold Phoenix token all about? What does it have to do with WLD? So the Cold Phoenix token, there's a company called Colmax, and then there's a DAO called Cold Phoenix. And 10% of the revenue from Colmax goes to Cold Phoenix. Long story short, it's an interesting project, but it was the first project that we certified, insured, and launched. If you can you see my screen?
We can see your screen. Do you want to go ahead and unmute Shetel real quick? If he's down for saying something real fast.
Yeah, we can, he can kind of explain what Colmax and Cold Phoenix is. But long story short, what it means for Wolfworks, though, is that they went through this process of first getting the certification, then the insurance, then on the launch pad. So we helped them kind of get going. with their launch and with their sale.
Yep, awesome.
And I invited
Yeah, Shetel, are you there? Can you hear us?
I am here. Hey guys, can you hear me?
So, Shetel, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick for those who don't know?
Sure can. Hey, guys, my name is Kjetil Ulving Tufte. I'm the CEO of Colmax. Also got a funny Norwegian name, so that's probably why you find it hard to pronounce. Yeah, basically we've combined our disruptive technology for cleaning up a major environmental challenge with the crypto space, and we did that through the Wolfworks, which we think is a great, amazing, pioneering impact platform. So
I'm gonna blush.
no, seriously, guys. I've been in the crypto space for a while, and I've still to see somebody doing what you guys are pulling off. And I seriously believe that we're in desperate need of initiatives like that in order to clean up the crypto space. So
sure.
that's part of the reason why we wanted to launch our community, which is important for us in the Colmax setup. But yeah, no, we're really enjoying this, and we're a company that we're going slowly, steady, and building a bedrock which we can stand on for a long time, and we believe in doing that through the pioneering community.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
So Patrick, I think Riley's going to kind of go into a very direct answer to your question here. One of the things is that Cole Phoenix, not only did they bring in revenue from going through our launchpad and going through our audit process, but they are also insured with us. And one of the ways that they've paid for that and continue to pay for those kinds of things is through COAX token, which we expect to bring in revenue over time. So, Ry, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
yeah.
So I can do that. So sorry, guys.
Just real quick.
You know me. When I start, I'm not gonna stop.
Real quick there. Let me walk through this real quick. So I pulled up my screen again, and then this is a section that's a work in progress on the site that kind of explains what the relationship between all these different things are, right? So at the very top, we have the token holders, specifically governance token holders, which is WLD. And then through voting, proposals, everything else, they control the Wolfworks portfolio. So under the Wolfworks portfolio, we have various assets, services like certification, insurance, launchpad, and then other projects that we build out and develop. So basically, Cole Phoenix, they went through the Wolf certification, the insurance, and the launchpad. So they utilized our 3 services, plus they paid in their token, which means that the COAX tokens that we got from doing that go under here, go under the assets column in the Wolfworks portfolio. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what we've essentially done is we created the situation where we've been able to bring in a large amount of revenue into the DAO, but we've also been able to go ahead and use that to immediately invest in assets that we expect to pay over the course of the long term. With like Riley was saying, we'll get some calculators and stuff out and that kind of stuff, so you guys can kind of see exactly how much revenue that brings into the DAO over time, based off of the projections that Colmax is providing. The revenue that they're looking at is significant. If I remember correctly, Shetel, you guys were talking about something like 125 million after optimization. Is that right?
Yeah, in a few years, that's what we're aiming for. And just to kind of frame it in for you guys, we have a massive environmental challenge, and we find a way of turning that into a great value, and in that lies huge opportunities. So that's why we're looking at those extremely high numbers on the revenue side. And then all the COAX holders through the community and the Cole Phoenix will get access to 10% of net revenue from the first super site. And that's important. A huge difference between a regular investor is that you're actually getting access directly to the revenue rather than having to wait for dividends payout, etc., like a regular shareholder, which is far more risky and far less likely to get the payouts you're looking out in our setup. So
Exactly. So
yeah, and just small comment. Crypto is the first time that's possible to do with a company or revenue or any kind of business. So yeah, that's why we're so excited about it.
I actually think that that's a super duper valid point. One of the things that we're calling ourselves moving forward, we're saying, hey, we're the next generation of venture capital. Crypto is the reason why we're able to do this, right? Like projects like Colmax, projects like CBB, even Infinity, the reason why these things exist is because of the 3.0 space. This is the first time that we're able to go in and legitimately be able to create reasonable distributions for token holders without having to go through the cumbersome process of the traditional stock markets and all of these other archaic systems that aren't really designed to work in your favor. This is the first time in history that as people, we've been able to actually go and play on a legitimately reasonable playing field with our investments as individuals. And it doesn't matter if you have, $100 or $100 million, you still get the same opportunities across the board, which is super duper, like I said, this has never happened before, just like Kjetil said.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
it's a very interesting time because there's a lot of things in Web3 and crypto that are just doing Web3 and crypto stuff for the sake of Web3 and crypto. What's starting to happen though, and like what projects like Ability Capital, Wolfworks, and Cold Phoenix are doing is taking things in the traditional world or Web2 and utilizing Web3 and crypto as a platform to do the things that they're already doing.
Exactly. And the transparency and everything with smart contracts and how crypto is structured, it's amazing. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been dealing a lot with sub-Saharan countries and trying to help develop there. And I've just met so many people, and there's millions and millions of them, just as an example, that have a cell phone, but they don't have a bank account. But now through this, they can actually start participating in building value for themselves and their communities. So yeah, this is it.
Direct access to the international economy.
Yes,
And
much needed.
So, and that's one thing I think that what we'll do, Kjetil, if you don't mind, and Empire, I'm going to invite you guys to do this as well. Jack and Sammy, we should do a Twitter space maybe in the next week or two where we get to sit down and talk about some of the concepts in regards to where the crypto is moving and the opportunities that provides for individuals as a whole. I think that would be a lot of fun to do.
Sure, I'd love to participate.
Awesome.
I'm passionate about this, so whenever I can contribute, I'm happy to.
For sure. I want to go ahead and wrap it up. We're over time as it is, but before I go, I want to make it a point to tell people, because this has been something that we've seen a lot of concern over. One of the things that we've been focused on, and one of the things that Jack and I have been working on solutions with, is because of the fact that this is a new opportunity within crypto, and we are in a situation where we're able to appeal to people outside the crypto space and utilize crypto as a utility, not as a product. We've been trying to figure out the best way to approach the market as a whole to get as many individuals coming in that are new to crypto, that aren't necessarily looking at the traditional forms of crypto, and bringing those people in and trying to educate them on how to make reasonable investments. And so that process takes months to kind of identify that market niche and identify how to approach them. And now we're in a position where we're finally, able to execute on that. So moving forward, I think that's going to be a big thing that you guys are going to see. I want to thank everybody for going ahead and taking the time to jump in on this. We want to do these State of the Union addresses a little bit more often. We want to make sure that we're being as transparent with you guys as possible. And we want to show you guys the legitimate results that are happening with your investment. We're not just sitting around on our thumbs waiting for things to happen like the case. We're building the assets, building the revenue, building the infrastructure that's going to continue to bring you guys the kind of returns that are going to be consistent long-term. And, somebody even mentioned the idea of one day competing with BlackRock.
Raj said that we're beating BlackRock, etc., into the space as well.
Yeah, exactly. We are the first to market in essentially what amounts to being the largest market on the planet, which is venture capital, whenever it comes to a lot of these different approaches, right? And we want to go ahead and capitalize that. And I think that the long-term gains for our community over time is going to reflect that. You know, a good example is everybody looks at Bitcoin whenever it was $300 a coin, and they were like, oh, I should have invested at that time. And then they looked at you know, it being 60,000. Well, if you look at what Bitcoin did, it was first to market, right? It created the infrastructure that allowed for all of this growth. And what we're doing is we're doing the same thing, but with traditional investments in the crypto space. And I think that we have a potential over time to see massive growth on the market, depending on what that looks like. So, but for real, I got to go ahead and end it here. Ryan, do you have anything else to say before we get out?
I think we should definitely do a Twitter space sometime soon.
For
we
sure.
We tried to do one not too long ago, but it was early in the morning on a Saturday whenever nobody's on. I think it was a Saturday. No, maybe it wasn't. But it was early in the morning, so like nobody was on. But Twitter spaces are fun, and we can definitely have some cool conversations.
And that way anybody can kind of join the conversation. We can have some casual talks and answer some more questions that way. So, all right, guys, well, we're going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you again for stopping by. And this recording will be available as soon as it gets done downloading and all the good things. So, you know, looking forward to our continued partnership with guys like CBB and Cole Phoenix and those guys. And we'll talk to you later. So thanks, guys.
Bye.